So they are all slightly different. Okay, that's why there's different words, is because in a particular situation, the grammar means this, and this one means that, and this one means this, and this one, right? But they are similar in that they kind of fit into the same place, right? So for example, because shows a relationship of cause. This and this, therefore that, right? Or a consequence. Yeah. Usually a positive consequence, but not necessarily, right? But something like that. Kiko went to Brazil because she wanted to see the Amazon rainforest. So there was this reason and cause and effect. That one's easy, right? We're good with that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Can I use can when the Brazil since she wanted to see the Amazon rainforest?
Yeah, that means that I mean a question about that.
So that's kind of a complicated question, but in the academic standards, no, you can't. However, there are many dialects of English where people do that. Yes. So yes and no. On your papers, that would be marked wrong, right? In an academic setting, on a TOEFL test, in the university, they would say, no, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, okay? But like I know people, sorry, who talk that way. All right, Kiko went to Brazil since she wanted to see the rainforest, right? And that's...
It means not wrong, right? The meaning not wrong.
Yeah, it's still the right meaning, right? Yeah. However, the way that the rules, right? The rules, what they're supposed to be, is that since functions this way and because functions this way. The reality, oh, where's my markers? So you have like because and since. Okay, so our rules are such that, okay, because is this way, good, and since is that way, and they're separate. That's how we set up our rules. That's what the book is trying to explain right here. The reality is that it's a lot more like this. And then kind of like that. Okay? So there are some situations that it really can only be since. So they're not 100% synonyms. You can't always switch them back and forth. But you can in a lot of situations, okay? Because they basically mean the same thing. Okay, so
with the same example in the number 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find here.
Because the desert is so hot, and the right not many people live there. Can with you because?
Yes, you could.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I mean, I'm trying to look through these here really quick, and I think almost all of these. A lot of people were swimming in the lake because the water looks dirty. Good. Oh no, that one doesn't work. That's a bad one. Since it's warm and sunny, there are a lot of people at the beach, and it works because. Yeah. Pretty much with all of these.
It's very easy, but we don't know exactly when we can use between the because and since,
right,
and although and even though it's a very similar.
Right. So here's the rule, right? The academic rule, right? The reality is, you can see here is they're almost the same thing, right? They're very, very similar. But the rule within academics is that you can never start a sentence with the word because.
Yeah,
okay? So this one right here, look. You shouldn't be able to put because here. So if I say, since it's warm and sunny, there are a lot of people at the beach today. Perfect. I could say, like I know people who talk this way, because it's warm and sunny, there are a lot of people at the beach today. Comprehension, I understand that perfectly. But within academic rules, that must be because. Because it's the start of the sentence. Does that make sense? It must be since, because it's the start of the sentence.
If you say that in the letter 7, the number 7, they said because in the beginning.
Right, right. Because city parks are popular, they're usually crowded. So this was something that an issue that I had up here, because I have a couple up here, right? So these are rules that we're trying to separate. You should never start a sentence with because. However, people do it all the time. It's the complexity. it's an odd rule. Like Do you guys know Grammarly? Are you guys familiar with Grammarly? No? Yes? Grammarly, okay. So Grammarly is an online tool that helps you edit things, right, in your writing, right?
Yeah.
So you type into it and it corrects your words and helps you do things, right? It's very good.
Normally.
This is one of the kinds of things that it actually will fix. If you start a sentence with because, it'll be like, nope, stop that, right? And it'll tell you to fix it, okay? Because it's just, that's one of those rules. But like if you go into like business writing, they don't care, right? It's often better to put in a because than a since because since has this feeling of almost academic, right? It's a word that fits into academic better than it fits into normal life. Yeah.